How would you like to make your traffic work harder and transform your WordPress blog into a cash cow by pushing ads, subscriptions, trial offers, CPA offers, and more? Well, keep watching until the end so that you can see how to increase your conversions with this one simple solution. It's a fact that it's getting harder and harder to engage with customers in an ever-growing competitive space, and thus makes it harder for you to monetize your websites. Well, full-page interstitial ads are one of the most interesting solutions to this major problem. In fact, according to VentureBeat.com, a leading source for news and perspective on technology innovation, interstitial ads are killing it. 25 times video views, 7 times conversions, and 9 times revenue. Now here's how these ads work. Basically, as users wait for the content of a website to be displayed, hyperstitial or interstitial ads are displayed in a similar manner as television commercials. So as you can imagine, this is something people have been used to for a long time. And viewers are subjected to advertisements which are more difficult to ignore than the common banner ad. In fact, if you go to major news sites or even Fortune 500 companies such as Forbes.com, they use full-page interstitial ads inside their content because it's working and converting for them. Now, even YouTube.com places video ads before their video content, which is the same concept. And because people are used to this already, they're more likely to have their guards down. But this method is rarely used by smaller websites, and frankly because most companies just don't have access to this type of technology, so a lot of money is being left on the table. In fact, we face the same problem. We scour the internet for a software plugin to work on our existing WordPress sites, but we just kept coming back empty-handed. And we wanted a WordPress plugin that could create multiple campaigns with multiple ads that can rotate evenly per campaign. Of course, there was one such plugin that we found that could create one ad per campaign, but it was so basic it could not fulfill what we wanted it to do to increase our sales and conversions. Plus, it had monthly fees that we just didn't want to spend for years to come. And that's why we decided to develop our own interstitial ad WordPress plugin. But it wasn't easy. It took well over half a year just to develop it and work with a programmer to do so, and another 4 months of testing and quality assurance and getting all the bugs out. And apart from that, we began to test different types of content types to see what converted well and what didn't, such as static images, videos that could autoplay, JavaScript code, HTML code, written code, and even converting existing posts or pages on our WordPress blog into full-page ads. So basically, essentially converting our existing content into monetized content. And we found what worked and kept it in our plugin, and dumped what didn't work. So the truth of the matter is that hyperstitial ads work really well if done correctly by targeting the right demographic or target audience. And this can really increase your sales conversions for your products, your sales, your opt-ins, or whatever you choose to promote. Well, enough talk. Let me show you how our hyperstitial plugin works in action and how you can start getting results. So at the time of making this video, actually yesterday, I was reading the Washington Post on my iPad and I happened to see a hyperstitial ad. As you can see, this is the ad. It's actually fairly simple, but it's actually very powerful because it's shown in between the content. So you've already gained the person's trust by giving them great content and you're actually showing the ad. Now, there are specific tips and tricks that you can use to increase your conversions and increase your profits, which I'll share with you a little bit more down the road. But I want to make you realize that I'm not just showing you how it works, I'm going to show you how to increase your conversions that actually produce results. So after you have installed the plugin, this is what you get. You can see all the campaigns, you can add a new campaign, or you can simply edit a campaign. You can also enable and disable campaigns. You can specifically choose a campaign to run on the front page, and not only that, you can create unlimited campaigns and you can create unlimited ads within a campaign. So if you want to test to see whether an image works best, a video works best, a JavaScript code works best, a text written content works best, you can actually do that. And another thing you can do is specify a specific date. So if you want the hyperstitial ad to run at all times, you don't have to specify a date, but if you want it to run, let's say from a specific day, Monday to Saturday, you can actually specify the date as well. So let's just go ahead and create a hyperstitial ad real quick, and I'm going to do a quick run through and show you as many features as I can, as well as some tips and tricks that you can use to increase your conversions. So as you can see, all you have to do is click on Add New. So as you can see here, you can name the campaign right here. So let's just call this Test Campaign. Now, the beauty of Hyperstitial Ad plugin here is that, let's say for example that you have a blog on dog training. Now, obviously there are different segments within the dog training niche. So you have puppies, you have adult dogs, you have elderly senior dogs. So this really gives you the ability to hone in on very specific audiences, very specific needs. So if you wanted to run a campaign on specific pages for puppies versus specific pages for senior adults, dogs, then you can actually do that, or specific breeds and so forth. Now, as you can see, this is split up into 4 different sections. Top bar, which is basically the top bar of the ad. So as this example for Forbes here, this is going to be the top bar. And this here is going to be the ad settings. Visibility is basically where you want your ad to show up. And you can also specify the dates here. So obviously you can change the headline. And the headline is basically going to be this area here. So add your headline here. You can also change the background color from white to black to different colors. Now, I would advise you not to use too many fancy colors. Perhaps even try to stick with the background color that matches your website, because doing so, it's not just an ad that's, bam, it's in your face. It's an ad that transitions and looks exactly like your site. So that's a good way to actually increase your conversions. But you can choose the background color. Simply select this and select the color here, or you can use the wheel as well and select whatever you want it to be. Now, obviously in this case, I'm going to keep it white. Font color, you can also change the font color as well. You can also choose font type. So we have Arial, Courier New, and all these other popular types of fonts. You can also change the font size. So obviously you want to test this out. You don't want to get too big. You don't want to get too small. We can choose something like 20 pixels. Now you have several different options. You can either enable a close button or enable a timer. You can have both actually. So if you enable both of them, basically the timer is going to be whatever you set, let's say 10 seconds. If you enable close button, somebody can actually close it. Now, if you want them to actually wait, like some things like YouTube actually require you to wait for 3 seconds before you can actually skip the ad. So same thing here, you can actually specify that and say, okay, they have to wait 3 seconds at least before it actually allows them to close the ad. So actually, I forget if it's ABC News or whatever, but they actually require me to watch about 10 seconds of their videos just to see the content. And you can choose to show the close button during the countdown. Go ahead and click on Save Changes. And under Ad Settings, this is the beauty of our plugin. You can have as many ads as you can. You can have an image ad, you can have video ads, you can have, as you can see here, custom URLs. You can have YouTube or Vimeo ads. You can have custom HTML or JavaScript code. So as you can see, you can choose a post or a page, and you can select the post or page. So as of now, I only have 2 posts because this is a new blog. But for those of you who have lots of posts and lots of pages, you can actually turn your post and page into a hyperstitial ad. You can also do text and image, and if you do that, a editor will come up and you can simply add media. And especially if I click on one of these images, insert into post, and I can center align that, and there we go. And I can actually add new ads if I want to. So for post and page, I could do hello world, add new ad. I can do custom URL, and most URLs work. And you can see a little tool tip here if you put your mouse over. Certain sites like Google prevent you from doing this because they don't like you sticking them into an iframe. Click on Add New Ad. You can also do YouTube or Vimeo. So just find a YouTube video and simply place it in here. So if I go on a YouTube and I just grab the URL at the top and go here and place it here, that will work. And click on add new ad, and we can also enter HTML source code or JavaScript code as well. And if you do that and you have something like an image that you want to include, you can also center the content as well. Now obviously you want to pick and choose ads that are related to each other, because you want to be able to test to make sure that, okay, is this ad actually converting, or different types of ads in different types of mediums. So you have a similar ad in an image form, in a video form, in a URL, in a poster page, and so forth. You can actually see whether or not that really works. This gives you the ability to do that. So you can add as many ads as you want to, and basically how it works is every time somebody refreshes the page, they will see a different ad that you specify. Now, before I move on, I want to say that we programmed this to deal with Google bots. So the site page rank is not impacted by the repeating occurrence of the ad. In fact, the bots will not be able to run the JavaScript necessary to display the ad. So as far as they are concerned, the ads are not even there. So for those of you who are concerned about that, that's not an issue. Now, what visibility does is it allows you to choose and show your hyperstitial ads on specific pages. You can either do it front page campaign, you can either show it on all pages by clicking this box here. Now, keep in mind, this box will actually gray out if you have chosen this on a different campaign, which I have. So if I go over here and I click on edit on this campaign, and I uncheck this box and click on save changes, and then I go back to the other campaign here, you can see that the gray box has been lifted. So obviously you can only display a specific campaign on all pages. Now the beauty of this is that if I uncheck this, because obviously the best way to increase your conversions is to make sure that your ads are related to the content itself, right? So that's what we've given you the ability to do here, is you can actually choose specific posts and pages. Now, to know the difference between the posts and pages, if you put your mouse over here, you'll actually see that it tells you post or page. So I can specifically select certain ones. So if you're thinking, well, does this allow me to select only one or two? It allows you to select as many as you can, but once you have selected, it will stick to that campaign. So it will gray out, as you can see here. So if you create a different campaign, then it's not going to allow you to conflict with that. Otherwise, you decrease your conversions. And you can select that. You can also disable specific pages. Like what we found is most people don't really want to see an ad when they log in. So the login pages and the register pages have been disabled. But you can also customize this and include other pages that you don't want it to include on. You also have the ability to use cookies. You can either show the interstitial ad every single time, or if you use a cookie, you can show the ad, let's say, for example, for 2 weeks. You can show the interstitial ad for the first time, so it can be first 6 times, or first 5 times, or whatever you want to choose. Or you can specifically just do it for 2 weeks. We also have a feature called Ad Delay. Now, don't confuse this with the countdown timer on the top bar. This is basically an option that allows you to show the ad after a specific amount of seconds. So let's say, for example, that you want somebody to really get into the content. If they stay on your content for, let's say, 10 minutes, so that's 60 times 10, then once they have stayed up for that amount of seconds, then what you can do is you will show that ad. So one little tip that I found that really converts really well is to kind of sift between the people that stay on your site for a long time, that are actually loyal, and the people that just leave. So the people that stay for 10 minutes or beyond, I assume that they are the types of people that are going to invest more time into your future products. So if that's the case, you can actually show opt-in forms with bonuses that you give the bonuses to them. And that way you get people that are on your list that are action takers, or at least people that are interested in your products and services. You can also show the interstitial ad to everyone, or logged in users or specific logged out visitors. So this is great if you have like a membership site or a site where it requires you to log in. And of course we have dates that allows you to create a time constrained campaign, which means if you click it here, you can specify a start campaign date and a end campaign date. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Or if you don't want it to specify a date and you want it to run at all times, you can do that as well. So if I go back to all campaigns, you can actually specify front page ads. So let's say, for example, you want a campaign that runs on the front page, but obviously you can only choose one campaign. So if I want to do this one here, I do this one here. If I want to do this one here, I can do that. Now, obviously, before this is going to work, you're going to have to enable it. So I can click on enable here, and we're good to go. Now, I'm going to go to the site and show you what it looks like. So as you can see, the image shows up, and the headline is here. We didn't use a countdown timer, but if I go to top bar and let's say that I want to do just 3 seconds and save changes and refresh the page, you can see that there's a timer there. So you just got to keep in mind with ad settings, as many ads that you use, just make sure that they work, and just keep in mind that they rotate evenly. So it doesn't always mean that they rotate in order, but the system will check that they actually run evenly. So there are many things that you can do with this plugin and many ways to increase your conversions and turn your WordPress blog into a cash cow by pushing ads, subscriptions. You can promote trial offers, CPA offers, affiliate offers, and much more. So with that said, look forward to seeing you on the inside.